When the source was asked to come out for a raptor demonstration today, this reporter thought he was going to learn how to dunk a basketball. Boy, was I wrong. We're here at the Butterfly Conservatory for a visit by the birds of prey from the Canadian Raptor Conservancy.
We're a birds of prey center based out of Port Dover. We deal with exclusively birds of prey. We breed them, rehabilitate them, and of course we do a lot of educational work as well to teach people about these awesome animals that are often right in their own backyards.
How many of these visits, these educational visits, do you do in a year?
Probably do close to 1,000 a year almost. We are out there almost every single day of the week doing all sorts of things across the country as well. I've been to the east coast of Newfoundland, to the west coast of BC, and everywhere in between, so all over.
Today you've brought with you about 6 or 7 birds. Can you tell us about the ones that are actually going to be performing in the show?
So the birds I've got with me were all raised in captivity, been working with them since they were all very young. They are going to be flying around, right over top of the audience's heads, patting people on the head as they go by, generally doing a good job of entertaining people while I sit there and talk about them and hopefully impart maybe 1 or 2 cool things about them as they're out there.
As far as the educational aspect of this thing, what are you aiming to teach people?
Birds of prey are kind of one of those animals that you see a lot, but you don't always know a lot about, right? You don't get a chance to see them up close. You don't get a chance to really learn about individual species. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about birds and all that kind of stuff. So we try and get rid of a lot of those bad misconceptions, replace them with some really cool facts about the birds, and just generally impart a sense of how we can protect these animals, right? Because it's not until the public get involved that we really start to see changes in these populations. So that's quite an important thing. One of our main kind of mottos, so to speak, would be we protect what we know, and when people are learning about animals, they're much more interested in keeping them safe.
Birds of Prey was part of a larger educational program taking place over March and April at the Butterfly Conservatory.
All week we were here at the Niagara Parks Commission at the Butterfly Conservatory doing arts and crafts with kids, making butterfly life cycles with pasta. So that was a lot of fun for kids. And then of course today we have our Birds of Prey here with the Canadian Raptor Conservancy. So much fun, it's interactive, and the Canadian Raptor Conservancy puts on such a great show. They're so informative, they're so personable, and they just do such a great show. The birds are so much fun.
What other educational programs do you have going on in the upcoming months?
So right now we're doing our Art of Nature exhibit at the Butterfly Conservancy, at the Butterfly Conservatory. It's here until April 27th. It's free with your admission to the Butterfly Conservatory. And then along with that we have a paint night workshop called Creative Painting Parties with Debbie that is on March 21st. Which is a Thursday at the Niagara Glen. And we also have a floral workshop at our Floral Show House on April 11th. And if anyone misses the birds this weekend, they will be back on April the 13th.
Matt, tell me a little bit more about Rocco here.
So this is Rocco, our male bald eagle. He's coming up on 14 years old this year. He was born at our center. He's been doing this his whole life. He actually got his start doing shows on Grouse Mountain in British Columbia, where he was doing shows there for about 5-6 months of the year. Went back there for a few years, and then once we stopped doing that, he's been to Prince Edward. He's literally been to every province in Canada, and he's done shows everywhere. So lots and lots of people have gotten to see this guy. He's a big crowd pleaser. He's nice and big. He's got the wingspan. He's got a great story behind him, that whole conservation story, and it's very much a grassroots conservation story. A lot of people finding out, kind of thing, and really making changes and making noise and all that. And I mean, now you can see bald eagles easily, right? Where, I mean, if you'd asked that question 15 years ago, yeah, nobody would have seen a bald eagle. So it is really impressive that they've made the comeback they have, and that's mostly because of the efforts of people just like you and me. So it's a very good story.
Next up for the Niagara Parks Commission is their Art of Nature workshops. Tickets for those are available through their website, niagaraparks.com. Reporting in Niagara Falls for The Source, I'm Mike Balsom.